Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear viewers, today we are going to be talking about the third parable of Surah Al-Kahf. The third parable of Surah Al-Kahf revolves around the third trial, which is the trial of knowledge. Okay, it is about a very knowledgeable man named Khidr and Prophet Musa alayhi salam. And the one part of the story involves the next Prophet Yusha alayhi salam, who is the servant of Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Okay, there are some myths that people have made over the centuries about Khidr. Okay, one that he was from Bani Israel. No, if he was in Bani Israel, by now he would have been following Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Allah knows best from which tribe or country he comes and who he really is. Second is, people think that he is immortal and he will not die. Well, that only title goes to Allah, who is never born and who will never die. And finally, this is a majority concept that most people make, is that they associate Khidr as a prophet. No, he was not a prophet. Only Allah knows the best who he was before meeting Prophet Musa alayhi salam. Okay, so now let's start. So Bani Israelite asked a lot of questions, and one day they decided to ask Prophet Musa alayhi salam, who is the most knowledgeable man on earth. Musa alayhi salam at that time thought that he was the only prophet, so he would have been the only one to receive the knowledge from Allah. So he said it was him, but later Allah rebuked him and said, no, there is another knowledgeable slave. Okay, he will be at the parting of two rivers. Okay, it will be at that time where you will miss a basket of fish and you will go back to find it, and that is where you will find the knowledgeable man. So Prophet Musa alayhi salam did not hesitate, even if it would take a number of years to find the parting of those two rivers. So he set out on a journey. Okay, so they traveled in the morning, and then the Prophet Musa alayhi salam decided to take a rest. Okay, later in the evening, he woke up and he and his servant went together to another place. Then that was when Prophet Musa alayhi salam asked his servant, where is the basket of fish that I asked you? I was going to eat it along with you. And at that time, they were at the parting of two rivers. And that was when Prophet Musa alayhi salam realized that the sign had came true. They just need to go and retrace their steps. Oh, one detail that I forgot, that the servant was none other than the upcoming to be Prophet Yusha alayhi salam, who would succeed the leadership of Bani Israel after Prophet Musa alayhi salam's death. So they both were, so that was when Prophet Musa alayhi salam said, "Oh Khidr, please allow me to go." And then Khidr said, okay, fine, I will give you a chance. And they both went and boarded a ship, and they reached their destination. And then Khidr decided to do some repair in the boat, he removed a few screws and removed a piece of wood which caused it to sink. And then Prophet Musa alayhi salam was shocked and said, "You have done something munkar, which is forbidden. You let those people drown and die." And Khidr said, "See, you're not patient." And then the Prophet Musa alayhi salam said, "Okay, give me one more chance." So then they walked, and then they saw a child, and Khidr took an axe and killed the child. And once again, Prophet Musa alayhi salam could not control his patience and said, "Why did you do this thing which is prohibited? It is called killing." And then Khidr said, "You are impatient again." But this time Khidr allowed to let him stay with him for another chance. And then they reached a town, okay, and then Khidr started building a wall in his sickly state, where he did not have any drinks or water or any food. And after building, Prophet Musa alayhi salam said, "Why are you building this wall? Can't they pay you for doing this to them? They never even offered you anything." And then Khidr said, "O Prophet Musa alayhi salam, this is the parting between you and me. You have been impatient for the past three incidents. Now I'll give you my interpretation and my reason why I done all of those. For the first one, I done it because there was a ruthless and tyrant king who would seize every ship, and that ship that he destroyed belonged to a poor family. That was their only source of income, and he didn't want the king to go and find out and seize the ship away and take away the family's only source of money." As for the second incident, Allah was the one who commanded Khidr to go and take an axe and kill the boy, because he was destined from birth to be a disbeliever and to also infect his pious parents who were pious to become disbelievers. So Allah asked Khidr to kill the disbelieving person in the hopes that in the future there will be a merciful child which will come and be pious along with the parents. For the last third incident, the people were misers, and he was building a wall nearby two orphans. Their father had hid a large amount of wealth underneath, and he was afraid that since this was orphans' wealth, the people would go and snatch the wealth away without considering the orphans. And finally he said, "I did not place my judgment on this. This was Allah who commanded me to do all of this." Lessons learned from this story is that even if people are doing things that we may not like, we should not place our judgments on them. Those things might be for the benefit and for the sake of good and for others. And also, we must learn how to be patient in life, Being impatient will never get you anywhere, but patience can get you thousands of things. So when Allah rebuked Prophet Musa alayhi salam for his judgment on who is the most knowledgeable person in the world, Musa alayhi salam set out in the path of finding knowledge and strived and worked hard for it. We should also learn how to strive in the path of knowledge. Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear viewers. Inshallah, we'll meet up with the fourth and last video.